comment. Anyone wishing to provide public comment with regards to an item on today's RTC agenda, please state your name, spell your last name for the record, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Hello. Good morning, Commissioners. Dennis Hennessy, Chairman Jones.
Not just a driver.
There you go, I'm just a driver. I kind of have to do a little bit of a retake from last month. You guys started real quick and we weren't all in and settled. I guess that's a good thing. I want to talk a minute about transparency. If you all brought your dogs for barking, I'd appreciate it. But last month, you did something very untransparent. In your consent agenda, you passed the RFPs for the companies, the 2 companies that won the cleaning contracts for your buildings. Are you guys aware of how much their employees are making an hour? Are you aware that they're making $12 an hour with no benefits? It's not on MJ and her staff anymore. You guys all approved that. Your constituents aren't going to be happy. The Latin Chamber of Commerce, the AFL-CIO, the Culinary Union, to be happy that all of you, by consent agenda, approved that quietly. Nobody in the public knows about it. I think that's wrong. I think that's real wrong. I've been talking to you about transparency and the importance of it and the lack that we have. It's sad. You got all these people, predominantly Hispanic, cleaning your buildings, and you approve a contract that's paying them $12 an hour. That's sad. We fought tooth and nail to get a contract for the employees of Silver State, the cleaners and fuelers. Nice move. You kept Silver State in the cleaning and fueling so their contract holds. We're not going to stop. We're going to go for the other ones, and it's going to be a headache just like it was with Silver State. But I blame you guys. You are the ones, your constituents don't vote for MJ and her staff. They vote for you. Mrs. Berkeley, you've done great things over the years I've been here in this town. And as a citizen of Clark County, I appreciate it. Mr. Tiggerbloom, you're very, very passionate, Mr. Tiggerbloom, on what you do. I see you on the news all the time going after abandoned houses in your district and things like that. I'm sorry I can't mention all of you, but there are a lot of things that you all do. You've been a battler for people that don't get the right shake. These people that are cleaning your buildings that aren't RTC employees, because I guarantee you, you're not paying the RTC employees $12 an hour. Bark.
Thank you, Mr. Hennessy. Anyone else wish to provide public comment? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the first public comment, and I'll turn it back over to Ms. Maynard-Carey.
Thanks, Chairman. The next item is to approve the agenda. We would like to request that item 27 be pulled from the agenda. It will be brought back to a future board meeting. Otherwise, your agenda is in order and ready for your approval.
Very good. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended. There's a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item is to receive the CEO report, and today we are going to start with recognizing one of our own. I would like to update the board that Deputy CEO David Swallow has been named Alumnus of the Year for the UNLV College of Engineering. This is a well-deserved and overdue honor for David, who has spent most of his career at the RTC building our beloved community. All who know him respect him for his ability to deliver projects that greatly benefit our residents and visitors. While I tease him for his nerdy engineering brain, he really is. He's in charge of the nerdery at the RTC. Southern Nevada would not be where we are today without him. He's so smart and he's so passionate about what we do, and we are very proud of him. So congratulations, David.
And handsome, I just want to say.
I'll share with you that when Jacob Snow was our general manager, he actually gave him a nickname that is carried today, Spiffy. Okay, let's move on. Next, we would like to recognize an outstanding transit operator, Danielle O'Green. Let's watch Sabrina Glenn, who's our Senior Director of Transit Services, surprise her with the Crystal Bus Award.
Thank you, MJ. It's an honor to recognize Danielle O'Green, one of our outstanding operators at Transdev. Danielle has been driving RTC buses since January of 2024 as an extra board operator at the Sunset location, jumping in wherever she's needed. She is a true professional who demonstrates her commitment to service every day. Earlier this year, Danielle went above and beyond the call of duty to assist an injured pedestrian who was stumbling in the roadway. She pulled her bus safely to the side of the road and went to his aid. She called 911 and stayed with him until help arrived, and then continued en route, ensuring her passengers remained safe and cared for. We're very proud to highlight Danielle's professionalism, compassion, and dedication. She embodies the kind of service we are fortunate to see every day. Now, let's go surprise her with the Crystal Bus. Miss Danielle. Hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. So I'm Sabrina Glenn. I'm the Senior Director of Transit for the RTC, and I am here on behalf of MJ Maynard Carey, our CEO, as well as our Board of Commissioners, to just say thank you so much. We know a couple weeks ago there was an incident with a pedestrian that you ended up helping and calling 911 and making sure that they were taken care of. And so for that, we just want to acknowledge you with our Crystal Bus Award and say thank you so much for all you do for us at the RTC.
I want to thank my supervisors and RTC and the Board of Commissioners for this award. I really appreciate it.
Let's give Danielle a round of applause.
Thank you, Danielle. Next, we would like to recognize transit mechanic Albert Libertor. So let's watch as Roger Johnson, our Director of Fleet Maintenance and Technical Equipment, surprise him with the Crystal Bus Award.
Thank you, MJ. It's an honor to recognize Al Libertor, one of our outstanding mechanics at Transdev. Al has been maintaining our fleet since 2008, and he's an automotive service excellent master technician. He's known for his dependability, professionalism, and for making sure every job is completed to the highest standard. Over the course of his career, he has repaired hundreds of buses, and that kind of dedication sets the bar for the entire team. What truly sets Al apart is his mentorship. He has successfully trained one apprentice and is now guiding another. His leadership has made a lasting impact by preparing the next generation of technicians to succeed. We're very proud to recognize his dedication and the positive influence he brings every day. Now, let's go surprise him with the Crystal Bus. Mr. Libertor, how are you doing today? Good. Doing good? Good to see you. I got you on camera. I am here on behalf of the RTC board and our CEO, MJ Maynard Carey, and it's my privilege to present you our Crystal Bus Award.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We wanted to take a moment and say congratulations and thank you for your outstanding service, for your leadership, and your commitment to helping provide a safe transportation system in our community.
On behalf of the company, I just want to say thank you for this award. Thank you to the RTC and everyone who's in charge.
Al, you here? Let's give him a round of applause. There you go. Congratulations.
Danielle and Albert, if you could come down and take a picture with our commissioners.
2, 1. 2, 1. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Danielle and Alberta. Those are the people that keep the buses moving, do all the hard work, so thank you so much. Next, we'd like to highlight our Safety and Security Press event. Senate Bill 290 from the 2025 legislative session is now law as of October 1st. SB 290 enables our contracted security officers with Intercon to remove disruptive passengers from buses. It's authority that they didn't previously have. To celebrate this milestone, we held a press conference where we were joined by elected officials, members of our transit security discussion group, Intercon officers, transit operators, and transit riders. The event also relaunched our Everyday Safer campaign that highlights key investments in safety and security. I want to thank you, board members, for your continued support and commitment. You really were a driving force behind our legislative work around Senate Bill 290. Again, your leadership is very much appreciated. I also want to thank Julia Porche Garcia with RTC's media marketing team. It was her first really big event that she planned. She did a great job, as well as the entire media marketing team. Is Julia here? Right there, she is. Yeah. So here's a short video, just.
Senate Bill 290 is a culmination of an incredible amount of work that was really spearheaded by the RTC, bringing together like different groups, bringing together people, bringing together legislators, as well as policymakers, as well as local law enforcement, our transit workers, and even our students in our community to figure out how can we make our bus lines, how can we make our public transit safer for our community, our workers, and our students that are on those buses.
Thank you, RTC, for making me feel safe. The two things that the public always asks about is, first, is it going to be on time? And secondly, is it safe? We are doing the best we can to be on time. Now, based upon this bill, we'll be able to make sure it's safe too. So there's no reason people can't use the public transportation from now going forward. It's so important here in Las Vegas. I can't thank the legislature enough for giving us authority and thanking the public for being patient. But now we are truly offering everything they need. So get out there and ride the bus.
Being more secure on the buses makes me feel safer. Thank you, RTC, for the new law.
Yeah, SB 290 means safety. It means protecting our community, protecting those that are riding our bus, to deliver a level of trust and confidence that those that are going to be getting on our bus know that they're going to be protected, that we're looking out for them with our security measures, with all the different technologies and all the different tools that we put in place. It's going to make for a safer ride, it's going to make for a smoother ride, and it's just going to build trust up with the RTC and the community.
Okay, and next, we are excited to celebrate Biketoberfest. It's a month full of workshops, community events, rides, and more. Just one weekend, we've already connected with hundreds of individuals at First Friday, our annual Bike Share birthday ride, and the community ride hosted by the City of North Las Vegas. And there are still plenty of events ahead for riders of all ages and abilities to learn safe riding habits and develop key maintenance skills. All the details can be found on our website at rtcsnv.com/Biketoberfest or by scanning the QR code. And then Commissioner Segelman, you've asked us to update the board monthly on our ridership, and then we heard from the rest of the board you'd like us to also talk about just the operating metrics for our transit system every single month. And so I'll begin with the transit ridership. As you can see, ridership continues to increase, both on the on-demand, the strip, and the residential routes. The strip, a 50% increase, and again, I have to thank Transdev and the operators that operate in that route specifically for their hard work in just making some process improvements. These are the routes with the The largest ridership increase, and again, routes 212, the Sunset Route, and 121, the Durango Buffalo, shows significant gains. And that really aligns with the service and frequency improvements that we implemented last year, September of 2024. As a follow-up to last month's State of the System, this slide shows missed service in August 2025 compared to August 2024. As you can see, missed service increased over this time last year. However, because the total amount of scheduled service grew by 4% from August of 2024 to August of 2025, the missed service represents a 1.1% increase. If you're wondering why there's the increase in service hours, last September we added about 4% service. That attributes then to the 4.1% increase in scheduled service. It's important to note that missed service includes when a bus is totally missing from a route, as well as when a bus is delayed more than 15 minutes from its scheduled time. This slide shows the number of active vehicles compared to the number of buses needed to make daily operations. There was a small decline in active vehicles between August 2024 and 2025. The 5-vehicle difference is due to the required vehicle disposal process. Here's an update on safety and security incidents from August 2025 compared to the same month last year. We had 1 less passenger on driver assaults and 3 less passenger on passenger assaults. We had nearly twice the amount of removals and 3 more trespasses. We consider these increases positive because we're supporting situations before they escalate into more serious incidents. And I want to thank Tom Atterbury, our Senior Director of Transit, for his leadership Intercon, and I think because we're seeing more removals and trespasses, that they're out there trying to get the work done. But it is important to note that 1 assault on a driver is 1 too many, as well as passenger and passenger assaults. So it will continue to be a focus for the RTC. And Board, you asked us to follow up regarding comments we received during last month's meeting. We heard from some constituents about reliability issues on the Route 221, that is the Cactus, Horizon, Ridge, and Boulder City route, and the BHX, which is the Boulder Highway Express. The Route 221, that's an hourly route where on-time performance is above average, ranging from 80 to 85%, and it really is a strong performer. Comments were made regarding missed service on this route, where a customer had to wait 2 to 3 hours at the bus stop for the next vehicle to arrive. The team spoke to the constituent who provided us with that information. That constituent wasn't able to provide specifics to that that would allow us to sort of verify the data. But with that being said, Transdev is now identifying all hourly routes as a priority. Obviously, if an hourly route, if there's an issue with the service, that's a big deal. Because again, you're not going to get a bus in 20 minutes. So primary routes ensure that they're filled by extra board operators when missed service occurs. This route will also undergo retiming as part of next week's service change to help account for delays that are caused by construction. The Boulder Highway Express, it's a 15-minute high-frequency route where on-time performance fluctuates between 73% and 78%. Not great. Consistent delivery continues to be challenging due to the Boulder Highway Reimagined project and the construction impacts, particularly when there are lane reductions. Unfortunately, our buses get stuck in traffic like everybody else. It can be challenging. But Transdev is working to identify new locations for we call them hot or staged coaches along the routes that have been identified as having service delivery issues to more quickly add that additional bus into service to help improve on-time performance. And our team is going to be focused on where those hot or staged coaches are so that any service issue, particularly around a busy route like this or an alley route, Transdev is able to respond quickly. We also heard feedback about our slimline shelters. Those bus shelters that have a smaller footprint than our traditional bus shelters because they don't provide as much sunshade relief as the larger shelters. And I happen to agree with that statement. However, to comply with the American with Disabilities Act, there are many locations in the valley that don't have a sidewalk that's large enough to put a standard shelter on. And so we designed a slimline shelter a number of years ago with the idea that some shade is better than no shade. I will tell you that the team is working with the manufacturer that makes our slimline shelters to increase the width of the top, the roof, to provide a little more shade. And then finally, we heard there are not enough security officers on our buses. And RTC staff provided an overview. This is from the constituents last month. Tom Atterbury and his team provided an overview of the safety stats and explained that while one incident is not acceptable, we do continue to see a decrease in incidents. We are introducing a new security software called Alerts. It's a notification system for customers to provide real-time updates on any security or service concerns they may have. It's going to replace our current See Something, Say Something app, which is, it's been in place for a number of years. The Alerts provides real-time information. I think it'll be much more specific to addressing much more quickly the incidents. The real-time feature will allow us to respond more quickly to the incidents, and this new system will be in place early next year. Well, it's always good to hear when we are meeting or exceeding the expectations of our passengers and the operators. We learn more when we hear where we are not meeting or exceeding those comments, and so we take every comment seriously, and we'll continue to provide you with an update at every meeting. For our next item, Deputy CEO David Swallow will provide you with an update on the progress of our roadway funding, including fuel taxes and sales tax.
Thanks, MJ. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. David Swallow, RTC Deputy CEO. For the record, I'd like to begin our first quarterly roadway update for fiscal year 2026 by highlighting the total roadway projects that have been completed to date or underway. Since FRI was initiated in 2014, we've had 727 projects that have been started, with 530 of those completed. Currently, we have 91 active design contracts and 106 active construction contracts. These projects are made possible by a myriad of federal, state, and local funding sources, including grants, motor vehicle fuel tax, sales tax, and fuel revenue indexing, or FRI. In July, I provided an update on our 10-year capital improvement program for fiscal years 26 through 35, which includes revenue from fuel tax and sales tax. However, it does not include the continuation of FRI, which currently is set to expire on December 31st, 2026. Following approval during the most recent state legislative session, the FRI ordinance may be modified to continue FRI. This ordinance was introduced to the Board of County Commissioners on October 7th, and the RTC is expecting Clark County to have an agenda item for the adoption of the ordinance in November. Our current CIP is programmed with $1.4 billion in funding. If the ordinance is approved, it will increase to $3 billion or more dollars for the next 10 years, and definitely boost the capital improvement program and our ability to fund critical roadway projects. Looking at the next slide, you can see since 2014, we've collected about $1 billion in revenue, but leveraged that into $3 billion worth of projects, with $2.6 billion coming from fuel taxes and about $460 million coming from sales tax. On this slide, expenditure, here we go. If you look at the total jobs per fiscal year, the most important metric that we have is that we've created or sustained over 24,000 jobs since 2014 when FRI was initiated. I want to highlight some of the key roadway projects that were completed this last quarter. It's important that we do this because each project demonstrates how critical roadway funding is, making a real impact, enhancing safety, improving mobility, and ensuring our values remain well maintained. So the first one I'd like to highlight is Clark County, who recently completed the Fort Apache Road Phase 2 project, improving the stretch between Blue Diamond Road and Huntington Cove Parkway. This project included widening the roadway to provide 2 lanes in each direction, improve flood control with upgraded storm drain facilities, and enhance safety with a new traffic signal at Ford Avenue, raised medians, and ADA-compliant sidewalks. Additional upgrades included street lighting and fast fiber optic infrastructure to support future connection of the transportation systems. These improvements support safer, smoother travel and better connectivity in the growing Southwest Valley. The project wrapped up in June at a cost of approximately $13.2 million.
Just want to note you forgot buffered bike lanes.
We didn't have it in the photo as well as I'd like to point it out, but thank you for highlighting that, Mr. Chairman. In the city of Henderson, we had the Eastern Avenue project from Horizon Ridge Parkway to Sun City Anthem Drive, delivered a comprehensive package of roadway utility and infrastructure upgrades to enhance safety, accessibility, and overall functionality for the community. Residents now enjoy fresh pavement and upgraded street lighting that improve visibility and safety for both drivers and pedestrians. Connectivity and comfort were further enhanced with transit stop improvements, ADA-compliant sidewalk upgrades and curb ramps, new signage, striping, and complete street features. Also had modernized utilities and fast fiber optic infrastructure to extend to this area and ensure long-term reliability to enable a more connected transportation system. The project wrapped up in August 2025 at a cost of approximately $5.2 million. In the city of North Las Vegas, we had along Camino al Norte between Craig Road and Ann Road, and a project to improve safety by adding median island treatments to provide safer pedestrian crossings and calm traffic along the corridor, while also enhancing the area with attractive streetscaping, as you see in the photo, that elevates the overall look and feel of the roadway. Together, these upgrades create a safer, more inviting environment for residents, businesses, and everyone traveling through the area. The project wrapped up in July at a cost of nearly $2 million. And punching well above its weight, the city of Boulder City recently completed a safety-focused project at the intersection of Buchanan and Elm Street, made possible by the voluntary contributions that everyone makes when they register their vehicles to the Complete Streets Funds. That $2, they ask you if you want to contribute to it. Well, the RTC receives that money, and every year we program projects, and it kind of rotates between the jurisdictions. Boulder City had this one. North Las Vegas is the next up in this round. But you can see here, this project had improvements that included curb extensions into the parking lane to calm traffic, upgraded ADA-compliant sidewalk ramps, and refreshed crosswalk markings, creating a safer crossing environment. Enhancements were also made to the existing pedestrian-activated flashing beacon system, along with new signage and bike ramps to improve visibility, accessibility, and safety for walking, cycling, and driving. The project wrapped up in August at a cost of approximately $450,000. And one of the final key projects we're highlighting this quarter comes from the city of Las Vegas, where a major mobility improvement was completed with the construction of a new overpass at Grand Teton Drive over US 95 from TP Lane to El Capitan Way, enhancing travel in the Northwest Valley. As you'll see in the video that I'll play in the next slide, the project cuts commute times by up to 10 minutes and allows for quicker emergency response from the new Sky Canyon Fire Station and the soon-to-be-open police substation. In addition to the bridge improvements, improvements included new bike lanes, a multi-use trail extension, upgraded lighting, signage, and ITS infrastructure to support a safer and more connected transportation network. These enhancements support regional growth while making everyday travel safer, faster, and more convenient for the community. So we'll go ahead and go to the video.
Hi, my name is Chris Duffy. I'm the construction project manager for the Grand Teton Overpass project. The Grand Teton Overpass is a 600-foot long bridge that's 100-foot wide. It sits between Durango and Sky Canyon.
Hi, I'm Brittany, and I live on the other side of the bridge, and we're excited to have the access. We are so excited to be realizing this project today. The northwest area of Las Vegas has grown so much. This bridge is going to provide connectivity for our residents and neighbors to shop, to move, but also more importantly for our first responders to be able to access our residents and support them and take care of their needs.
Opening of this overpass will help improve response times for Las Vegas and fire and rescue to be able to get to your emergency in a quicker, more efficient manner.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I live in Port Apache Ranch. And it'd be nice now this is all opened up to make it easier to get around town and get to things that I like to take my family to do. And we're pretty excited about it, so thank you.
$41 million project on the northwest part of the valley in Las Vegas here is extremely important to us because it provides an east-west connection up on the northwest over US 95 or I-11. So this is just going to be just a cut back on time for emergency responders, people that are trying to shop from east to west, residential communities. That just provides better connectivity within the valley. So this is like an exciting time for the people out here in the northwest part of town.
They put this overpass in for me, and I don't have to drive all the way around town to get to the other side of our town. That a lot of business over there that I go to all the time. Thank you very much.
So while these projects were nice to highlight in detail, we had a number of other projects that were completed this last quarter. There were 8 of them in total, with 6 by Clark County and 2 by Henderson and Mesquite. Also completed 2 design projects that will advance to the construction phase going forward, so you can see them here on the screen. And as exciting as all these projects may be, I know it can be a little frustrating when you're trying to get around town and running into a lot of orange out there. And so that's why the RTC a number of years ago created the Seeing Orange website to help keep the public informed about what's going on. You can log on via the QR code or seeingorangeenv.com. And if you don't have access to a computer, always feel free to call us to get details on any particular project that you see at 702-928-CONE or 2663. One project in particular I wanted to highlight is one that's literally right out the front door here out on Alta and Bonneville. These are improvements as part of the Maryland Parkway Bus Rapid Transit project. And it's pretty disruptive right now. They're doing full depth pavement reconstruction as part of the project on Alta and Bonneville. And the traffic control can be a little exciting at times with, that it moves, because as they're doing different construction activities, they will have to flop the traffic control. So they had completed work on the north half of, say, Bonneville, and then they flop the traffic over to the north side, and now are working on the south side. And if you were out there this morning, you would have seen a lot of tractor trailers out there with materials moving around. It's important to note that for the section generally going from Rancho to Casino Center, there's 1 lane eastbound and 2 lanes westbound most of the section. From I-15 west to Tonopah, there's 1 lane in each direction. But then it opens back up as you get to Rancho. When you go east of I-15, it's 1 lane eastbound, 2 lanes westbound. Right now they're working vigorously to get the work done so that before the holidays around November 17th, we want to have 2 lanes open eastbound from I-15 going to Casino Center. With that concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any other questions.
Thank you, Mr. Schmalo. Any comments or questions? Ms. Maynard-Carey.
Thanks, Dave. Okay, that concludes your CA report. The next item on the agenda is to receive the Nevada Department of Transportation Director's report, and we have Deputy Director Mario Gomez.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, RTC Board, and thank you for the opportunity to present today. I'm going to start off talking a little bit about I-15 and Tropicana. On Tuesday, September 23rd, the Department of Transportation hosted a ribbon-cutting ceremony to mark the completion of the I-15 Tropicana interchange, a major improvement to one of the state's busiest gateways serving the Las Vegas Strip and surrounding destinations. The program featured remarks by Governor Joe Lombardo, U.S. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, U.S. Congresswoman Susie Lee, Clark County Commissioner Justin Jones, Clark County Commissioner Tig Segelblum, and NDOT Director Tracy Larkin Thomason. Celebration included appearances by the Vegas Golden Knights, Vivas, the Raiderettes, and Drum as One. And so what's new at I-15 and Tropicana? So the completion of this project featured a raised median and widened Tropicana Avenue Bridge, which is 4 lanes in each direction, to improve capacity and clearance. New and expanded freeway ramp connections for more reliable access to the resort corridor. Reconfigured Dean Martin Drive, Tropicana Avenue intersection for better traffic flow. A new connection via Joey Bishop Drive to enhance local access. active traffic management signs on I-15 to support real-time operations around big events and incidents, and then also wider sidewalks, landscaping, and upgraded technology to support people walking and driving. And this is a short video recap of the ribbon cutting event.
The Nevada Department of Transportation is excited to celebrate the substantial completion of the I-15 Tropicana Interchange project.
Here, the resort corridor is fully open for business.
This is the most ambitious transportation projects undertaken in Southern Nevada, and we can proudly say it's complete.
This is really an example of when government works well, when it's a combination of state, federal, and local partnership. The state is a crucial partner at the federal and local level in the work that we do in our transportation system here in Nevada.
I think we all understand that we have to collaborate in order to make these things a success, and this project has been a huge success.
This project is about far more than just moving cars. It's about strengthening our economy, keeping our community connected, ensuring residents and visitors alike can access the businesses, entertainment, and world-class events that make Las Vegas such an incredible city.
60,000 motorists a day come across or through the interchange. Very important for economic development. It's very important for the future of Las Vegas and the state of Nevada. Thank you to our partners. Thank you to NDOT. Thank you to the board and all the hard work that everybody put in as part of this process.
At NDOT, we're committed to keeping you safe and connected today and for generations to come.
And so we are very pleased to have delivered this very important project to this community. Moving on, going to talk a little bit about Sunset Road, our rehab project. Crews have started a rehabilitation project on Sunset Road. Work has started as of the end of this September this year. Overnight, lane restrictions have been in place with multiple lanes remaining open during the daytime hours. The work will continue through spring of next year to resurface and repave Sunset Road and upgrade striping and electrical features. Just for everybody's knowledge, the last time this road had a full resurfacing was back in 1999. This is a $12.9 million federally funded project. Talking a little bit about some of the conferences and special events that we have going on. We have the upcoming 2025 Traffic Safety Summit that is being hosted by the Department of Transportation and the Department of Public Safety. The Traffic Safety Summit gathers safety partners to share best practices to reach the ultimate goal of zero fatalities in the state. These photos show last year's event, which was held in Reno. This year's event will be held at the South Point Hotel and Casino on from October 21st to the 23rd. The summit brings together transportation engineers, law enforcement, policymakers, and community partners to share ideas and strengthen collaboration. Sessions will cover engineering innovations, behavioral safety, enforcement strategies, and new technologies. This is a great opportunity for agencies across this state to work together towards safer roads for everyone. Registration is now open, and we encourage all RTC board members and staff to attend or share this information with their team. Registration can be found on the last bullet point in the bottom of this slide. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez. Any comments or questions from the board? Thank you very much. We appreciate your work.
Thanks, Chairman. The next item is to approve your consent agenda, which consists of items 5 through 34 and can be taken in one motion.
Very good. I'll entertain a motion. Motion to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. 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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Chairman. Agenda item 35 is to discuss legal issues there. As there are none to discuss, you can move on to your final agenda item, which is to conduct your final citizens participation period.
This is the second time set aside for public comment. Anyone wishing to provide public comment with regards to any matters before the Regional Transportation Commission, please step forward to the microphone, state your name, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. And first off, we'll hear from Ms. Jones.
Hi, my name is Shelley, SHELLEY, JONES. And transparency is something that you guys really need to take seriously, like the gentleman said earlier. $12 an hour is a slap in the face. You should pay them not only benefits, but also you should raise the pay to $30 an hour. Because you know damn well that if it was one of your people, you would make real good sure they were getting paid and getting benefits. On that note, I like the programs on the buses, and also Silver Ride. The drivers need to, when they go inside of a public building like welfare, for example, they need to ask the security guard to go retrieve the person, because a lot of times violence may break out in the thing, and they keep the patient or the persons in the back for their safety. So instead of the driver saying, oh, well, I'm going to leave, they need to ask the security guard to please retrieve that person. The security guard would tell that person who came to drive for them, well, they're back there and they're not able to come out right yet. Can you wait? And if the answer is no, then that's when they should leave, not beforehand, and not assume that because somebody's sitting back in the waiting for their safety, which is number one always, no matter if it's a car, bus, public building, anywhere. Safety is number one. And when you're talking with somebody who is ADA or blind or what have you, that falls under ADA, their safety is number one. On that, have a great day.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Anyone else wishing to provide public comment?
Good morning. Always a pleasure to see everyone. My name is Noah Astor, A-S-T-O-R, and I'm a driver in this city. Retread tires on steer tires and tag axles. There's an overabundance of tire failures on the buses. Some simply disintegrate. Tread comes completely off the core, ending up on the sidewalk. The entire tire melts. I will leave these here for you to look at. MJ, please take one. This is incredibly dangerous, especially for someone walking on the street. I don't know if we're buying tires from Temu, but you really need to look into this. Madam Mayor, as Mr. Hennessy has pointed out, you have done some wonderful things for the city over your years. Absolutely incredible. What RTC has done to the cleaners cannot be tolerated. $12 an hour. Could any one of you live on that with no benefits? You couldn't do it. So why did you allow this to happen? It can't. It can't. You need to do better. You need to fix this for them. These are our people. I work with them, some are my neighbors. They live in your districts. You need to fix that for them. It's not right. The training for the new drivers that we have, my heart goes out to them. It's woefully inadequate. The company is not doing enough to train the drivers. You see the amount of accidents that happen? They've, what, tripled in a year? Over stupid, simple things that if they were trained correctly, it wouldn't happen. But the company has no accountability. You know, and you bring up issues to them, they need 6 months to almost a year to investigate and how to fix it. It's common sense, a lot of it. But yet, this is where we are. It's sad. One thing I want to mention, there's 10, maybe 12 of them. This group has the ability to move thousands of people in a couple hours. Special events. Perhaps somebody should tap them and pay them their value to fix the problems we have in this city. They've shown time and time again with game day service how efficient they are. Why aren't we using them to fix the residential routes that we have? It would behoove you to look into this, especially RTC. You know this. Utilize them. And finally, you know, as I see this every day, because I drive the 221, I have talked to numerous people, close to 60, that are highly upset that you've cut out between Decatur and Dean Martin. Perhaps do a B route. Every other bus goes down to Dean Martin. That may help some of the problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good morning. My name's Derek Bruin. I'm the Senior Vice President with Transdev. Just wanted to run through some September statistics for you. During September, we had 18.29 complaints per 100,000 passengers. Our RTT, which is just a regular call out to BOC, was handled in 2.22 seconds when the goal is 3 minutes. Priority call was done in 52 seconds when the goal is 2 minutes. From an HR standpoint, we're short about 1.69% of the contractual requirement. Our safety PAFR, which the goal is 1.5, is currently 1.26. We had a nice improvement over the previous month. Missed service is a total of 3% for the month of September. Our miles between failure from a maintenance standpoint was a little over 28,000 miles. 32% of all those failures, to Noah's point, were tires. So we had like 43 specific instances of tire issues. So we are going to put some additional strength behind that. Already spoke to both of the general managers on that. 13% were coolant leaks. And so we're going to do some stress testing on some of the hoses to make sure that we're trying to improve in that regard. Out of service across the fleet was 24%. It's a 3% improvement from last month, but not where we want to be. We need to be below 20%. We had one external audit from RTC where they audited 26 buses with no critical defects. A couple of maintenance initiatives that we're going to attempt. We do have some regen issues on the routes which affect the service. So if there's a regen issue, we have to pull the bus. So we're going to try to set a timing like a specialized PM for regen so that happens not in service, improving general service. And then we've actually are starting to overstaff on techs. There are a lot of call-offs, so we're trying to positively affect against the call-offs of employees. There was mention earlier of the 221. I spoke to Mr. Smith, who had complained last month. He is 100% correct. We had, during the month of September, I started a process where we checked the schedule adherence of that route every single day, and we had 22 specific issues just on that route in the month of September. 17 of those were maintenance related, 13 of it were traffic, manpower, passenger loads, 5 of them were late pullouts, and we had one instance where we had a trainer training an operator and he didn't make the second loop on the back end of the Boulder Highway. So again, we have a lot of improvements on that route to be made. I'll keep in touch with them and we'll continue to do better.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Hello, my name is George Smith, S-M-I-T-H, and I was here last month, and I have to say, starting off, MJ, I'm really glad to hear you say that the things that I said last month are being taken seriously, and that Derek Bruin is also acting on that, but nothing has changed in the last month. He just said to you, 22 incidents. I've been on every one of those buses. How is that possible? There are a lot of buses that I'm not on, and yet every one of them seems to be a problem. That's in the evenings or in the mornings when we're supposed to take 2 loops around town. But if they get it wrong, as Derek just said, that the trainer is not even training the drivers properly. This means the drivers are set up to fail from the beginning. They're not getting the route right, which means the pressure's on me, on the other passengers. And really this comes down to, I'm buying a ticket right up front, and I'm not getting the service that I'm paying for. Imagine if your power didn't work. Would you be happy about that if it was off an hour or 2 hours once or twice a week? What if your power, your water or your other utilities didn't work? This is a public utility, and I expect it to show up and be on time. But more than that, I'm being ripped off because I can't get my money back. One solution to this problem would be institute a credit program so that the moment a bus didn't show up and it was confirmed that I'm standing there at that bus stop, that would immediately credit my telephone or my bus pass, so that at least there's that part I don't get ripped off on, even though I'm not going to be able to make it to my physical therapist. And they're going to charge me for that because I'm not there. They don't care that it was the bus that was failing, and the insurance company's going to not pay for it. It comes out of my pocket. That's a compound ripoff from the bus service. And I'm not expecting to get that money back. I'm saying this problem needs fixed. If I'm one on this 221 route, and there are plenty of others, and I'm the only one here, can you imagine? This is a big cost for everybody. But not only that, I have arthritis, and when I can't get to where I'm going, I have to walk, which means I'm cussing at the bus every time, and I can't stand that. And I've been sending information to Derek Brune, and what I get back from him is that he's saying, yes, these are valid complaints, but I don't see any solution to the problem. So GPS units in the buses would tell these drivers, hey, you're making a mistake and you need to get back on track. That's on the RTC. I know you guys need money to do that, and I can hear you all saying to me, show me the money, I'll show you the service. May I have just a few more seconds?
Yep, if you want to just wrap up.
So I'm saying to you, I pay for that bus service up front with a ticket at the beginning of every month, and I'm not getting that service. And I pay my taxes. I'm showing you the money. You show me the service that I'm expecting to get. Now, I want to start, I've been telling Derek Brune about all these incidents, and I'm now going to start copying Sabrina Glenn at the RTC so that no one can miss this. I really expect this to get fixed, and I'm saying this to the city council now. We elected you to keep these problems from happening, and they're happening. You're failing. You're not getting it done. It's time for you guys to solve this problem. If the RTC cannot find TransDev and make them comply, TransDev has to go. Give them the Hans Brunner Memorial exit. Kick them out of town. They don't belong
Sir,
there.
if you could wrap it up. Thank you.
All right.
Good morning. My name is Carolyn Higgins with ATU Financial Secretary. I haven't been up here in a while. I'm listening to everything that you're saying. I've been in that position since I've been working for various contractors since 2008. The changes that are happening now are just horrific. We start at one location and then all the bids go over to another location, which means that mostly senior drivers and new drivers are having to transfer. Some of the newer drivers do not have transportation. So that's why they joined the team at the Simmons Yard. And it's happening vice versa, but it's more so happening with the routes at the Simmons Yards. Each bid, they are cutting the routes out, which is not giving anyone an opportunity to stay where they are, take care of their children, pick them up from school, and or get home to a sick mother. And it's just no humanity happening right now in this city, nor in transportation. The gentleman here, and then Derek was saying that call-offs. Why do you think people are calling off? We're humans. We are humans as drivers, as mechanics, as whoever have been hired for. But the call-offs are just basically tired people who are tired of driving very slow buses, being humiliated by passengers, being called the B word, the N word, every word you want to hear. Now, I am right now working for the ATU in the building. I'm not out there, but I was out there, and I hear it every day on the phone. We fight that drivers are being disciplined for minute things, not for no major. And the training has a lot to do with it. 2 weeks of training I couldn't drive no big bus with 2 weeks of training after coming off of a C license. So there is a lot of pressure being put on everybody. The passengers, I feel so bad for them. This gentleman, I feel bad for him. I have a son that works at the M, get off at 12 o'clock, and he takes that bus. Mom, they passed me up again. Or Mom, and I'm not telling on the drivers. I'm just saying there's something going wrong because you don't have the loyalty from the company to the employees and the employees to the company. And then we have RTC up here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Hennessy, not just a driver.
I'm just one driver. Dennis Hennessy. I want to kind of tap into a couple things. Noah mentioned game day service. A shout out to the RTC staff, Maria and her staff, and to John Jackson and Randy with TransDev and what they've done with game day service. It's probably one of the bright things I can talk about. But as a driver that's been here for going on 16 years, I used to love coming to work every day, interacting with my fellow drivers, actually being out on the strip. I did the strip for 9.5 years. You know, the only fun part of this job now is game day service. And I go to anyone I can do, I do. Because it's run real well. I want to touch again a little bit on transparency. I'm hearing all these numbers. Last month I heard numbers and 97% this. MJ, thank you for your presentation on incidents in your presentation today. But you know what? They're all numbers. We can all make numbers sing the way we want to make them sing. We can make them look good. I'm going to put a challenge out to MJ and her staff. My seniority number is 203. I've been here going on 16 years, and I'm 203 in seniority. I would suggest, I've been working with Sabrina on some issues. Service isn't what you think it is, what these numbers show it is. I do sunset, half hour between buses, every week. And I've talked with Sabrina about this, and she's handling it and doing what she needs to do. I would suggest that MJ, you and your staff sit down with 20 or 30 of the senior drivers that are ahead of me so that it's not just one driver telling you this. But it's bad. Drivers hitting their header board to not in service, BOC, just cutting people up. You know what? I used to love turning and burning once in a while, but now it's required all the time. But BOC just lets, here, go. And then on sunset, it's an hour. And like Carolyn just said, the passengers beat you up. You guys don't even know. They beat you up. So you don't hear those stats about assaults. You're verbally assaulted every time you get in. Like Carolyn said, you're called everything. Last thing I want to touch on is last month, we had a presentation on safety and security. I had a conversation with Mr. Atterbury afterwards. And I feel one of the biggest problems in getting help to drivers that aren't on with a guard on the bus is the time it takes to get somebody. And it's BOC. I just heard a stat that talks about under 3 minutes. You know what? Break that stat down to day parts, because your overall stat has from midnight till 6 in the morning when people answer at BOC in 30 seconds. 30-second average. Once you break it down to day parts, do it graveyard, Do it mid-morning. Do it morning, mid-morning, do it in the evening, because that's when it takes 15 to 20 minutes to get a call back from BOC, and then 30 minutes before you get a guard. Your problem's done.
Thank you, Mr. Hennessy.
By the way, Tom said in that conversation, he's not in charge of BOC, but if he was, he would have blown it up 2 years ago.
Thank you, Mr. Hennessy. Mr. Lynn?
How you doing, sir? William Lynn, ATU president. I wanted to start off with just kind of commending the security. Mr. Bloom, you were at the meeting. That was the 30th, wasn't it? So since October 1st, I've heard a lot of things about how they are coming as fast as they can possibly get out, including one guard that went out that was already on the scene up with an operator that was a lady was attempting to attack, and he actually got hit in the face. So I don't know if those stats are put into the actual assaults, but they're taking their hits too. And I just wanted to make sure to let them know that we appreciate that and that they're out there doing their job. Last but not least, the BOC, 2.5 seconds. Wow. There's plenty of words I could say for that. I would say that's between 11 and like 3 in the morning. Tell them to check those stats between 5 and 10 o'clock at night, because every day I'm getting calls. 45 minutes, no answer at all. Billy's still waiting. Yo, should I put myself en route? I've called radio waiting for Billy. They get mad at me when I go ahead and put myself en route. They get mad at me if I sit here for an hour waiting on them to call me. 2.5 seconds? I highly doubt it. If they look at it from an hour, I don't know if they're doing the projected times over a 24-hour space, but I can guarantee you that there's times that they are not getting these calls, and it's affecting your service too. Because if I'm sitting there at a layover waiting for BOC to tell me what to do, knowing I'm gonna get in trouble, if I say, hey, I could go right here, then has nothing to do with assault, has nothing to do with nothing, but it's still affecting your service and your time and the way your people are moving. So if that takes 2.5 seconds, then explain to me how come they're still sitting there and they're getting in trouble for putting themselves on battle. I don't think they're stressed out about waiting 2.5 seconds. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Lynn. Next speaker, please. If anybody else wishes to provide public comment, if you could please line up. If not, this will be our last speaker.
Hello. Sorry. I'm Ashley Cole, Area General Manager for TransDev, overseeing the full contract for service delivery. There's been a lot of comments about the service that we provide, and I wanted to make sure that I came up and spoke to those things. RTC has done everything to hold us accountable. They're in our departments. They are showing up. They are writing the routes. I want to be clear about that. TransDev owns our responsibility to fix the things that we have heard today. We are not hiding from the challenges that we have. We are meeting with the union weekly now, every single Monday as a standing meeting to make sure that we're in front of these conversations. I want to talk about the 221 and other routes that are performing, especially those that are running on an hourly headway. We send a report to Derek every single day, and our team every single day talk about the routes and what the challenges are, how we can mitigate them up front and make sure that we are getting ahead of those things. The team is making sure that when we're drilling down into it, we're not focused specifically on what the operators are doing or not doing, but holistically. What are we doing as a team, BOC, window dispatch, and how we are staffing? And some of the changes that they're seeing in the bid is to support the change that we know needs to happen on the road. I know that they're not happy with the changes as it relates to the bid. We heard that from Ms. Carolyn. But we want to make sure that we are answering their concerns and addressing the business need at the same time. So some people are not going to be happy, but we're going to fix the service, and that's the everyday goal. The other thing that I wanted to speak on, yes, we did report a 2.5 for the BOC. That's overall. They are absolutely correct. There are challenges throughout the day. If you break it down throughout the hour, we do have hours that are higher than that. Sabrina and the RTC team call us all the time, and we have to explain those things. What we're talking about today is we see a minute and 49 second decrease overall. And so out of 1,100 calls that came into the queue, we handled overall on an average 2 minutes. And so that's what we're talking about. But we are not hiding from what we need to fix. TransDev owns that. We want to make sure that you guys understand that that's TransDev's responsibility. RTC is doing everything and holding us accountable every single day.
Thank you very much. With that, we'll go ahead and close the second public comment period, and we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.